All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Cyber Social Hub Hubcasts. My name's Kevin DeLong, founder of Cyber Social Hub. If you've never been to one of our Hubcasts before, consider yourself pretty lucky. We tend to talk a little bit about some serious topics in digital forensics, OSINT, other types of digital technologies, drones, you name it. We tend to talk about it. And if there's something specifically that you guys want us or a guest that you want to see on the show, by all means, just kick me an email, just kevin@cybersocialhub.com, and let me know who that guest is. If you could do an intro, even better, because otherwise I become a stalker and try to, stalk the person on LinkedIn for a while. I think people get used to that from me by now. As you can see, I am not in my normal office. Yeah, I'm not in the normal studio. It is actually through some doors that direction. We had a flood, a few weeks back, just before we went to Techno Security. And it flooded out everything, the flooring. I mean, it was bad. It was about 4 inches or so of water down here. It was horrible. So I got most of it remediated, and I'm 2/3 of the way done of laying some new floor. Yes, I am doing it myself. And hopefully we'll be back in the new studio next week. I'm hoping to be back in by Monday, actually. But nonetheless, there we have it. Yes, it was the great flood of August, according to Megan there. Yeah, it's exactly what it was. It was bad. Ugh, God. Anyway, hey, if you guys haven't been into Cyber Social Hub yet, make sure you do. Head on in there. We have some trivia going on. As always, we try to do it monthly. Go in, check that out. Plus, we just got back from Techno. We did quite a few broadcasts from Techno Security, and then did Mike make it back yet? Mike didn't make it. Oh, Mike Rago's in here. Mike Rago. That's a different Mike that confused me. Yeah, thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. So Mike says, glad we recovered. Yeah, I'm going to try to make this bigger here. Hold on. Nothing like making some live adjustments. There we go. That makes it better, easier to see things. But anyway, yeah, we'll be back into it. So right now I'm just kind of shoved back here in a little cubby hole. If you didn't see any of the shows from Techno Security, I have them up on our YouTube page. So I appreciate if you guys want to cruise over there. YouTube is our homepage, is where we're going. Oh, hang on. We got Mike joining back here. All right, there we go. He's in the green room now, so we'll do that. We lost one of our guests. He went stage diving and no one caught him. And, that just gets ugly when it happens. So we're working on getting him back in here real quick. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and bring everybody up. I think we're all ready here. Make sure no one's eating or, licking the camera. Nope, everybody looks good over there. Okay, great. I'm going to bring the crew up here. And hey, there's everybody. Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you for taking your time out of the day, especially on a Friday, right, to join us. Oh, I think Mike froze again. At least that's a better face than how he froze before.
It's beautiful.
It's awesome when...
It looks like you've been tipping the old booze there a little bit.
That's right.
I haven't seen him smile that big in a long time.
He's happy. He's a happy guy.
He is a happy
All right, Mike, you can stop now.
Poking down there.
Yeah, kind of creeping us out a little much.
Mike, if you have to rejoin, just rejoin at some point because it is. I'm going to leave his picture just like that because I am freaking not moving. Oh, there he goes. He's popped out. All right, he's back in. Nothing worse than having some internet doesn't cooperate. Hey, he's not smiling now. He doesn't look so happy.
Grumpy Mike.
Mike, you have to watch back the replay and see how your camera froze. That's all I want to say. Is just you have to.
There's always one. There's always one.
Very happy guy.
Yeah.
So, if you guys haven't guessed yet, we got the crew here from Detego. How you guys doing? Where's everybody from first? CJ, where are you located?
I am a stone's about 20 minutes outside Washington, D.C. in Rockville, Maryland.
Okay.
I've been here. This is kind of where I've lived most of my adult life, here in the DMV, as we call it.
Nice. Mike, where are you at? I think you're a little further north, aren't you?
I am currently in Acushnet, Massachusetts, where I reside most of the time.
Excellent. And Javis, you have not been a victim to the show yet. So again, thanks for popping on. We met, what was it, last year at the shows, I think?
Yeah.
The year before, something like that. So yeah, welcome.
A couple years ago.
Where are you located at?
I'm here in Hope Mills, North Carolina. And I've been here for about 10-ish, 12-ish years. I'm originally from Nebraska, so right by Fort Bragg now. Not Fort Liberty. I'm not going to call it it. I will not. It's by Fort Bragg. So here in North Carolina.
Nice, nice. We're going to talk a little bit about you guys' history as well. Oh wait, Mike's got a comment here. Hopefully, I'm going to slide this up where it's not on everybody's face. There we go.
Yeah, there's a song "Don't Go Back to Rockville" by REM from back in the '80s. If anybody, from all you old heads out there, that's about my hometown. That's good to know, Mike.
Yeah, if you guys don't know Mike, you may have met him at a show once before. He goes to the shows. And Mike, was that when you about took down NASDAQ? Was that the same instance? So that's how, yeah, literally, you guys think I'm joking. Literally imagine it just going down. Luckily, there was backup. So, yeah. Yeah. So, there you go. REM's awesome. Red
Yeah, she knows about the red line too. That's the metro. That is the local Shady Grove metro here. So she speaks my language.
Yeah, he claims it was by accident that he nearly took down all of NASDAQ, but those of us who know him, we question it. And it was about 1992, he claims. So awesome stuff. I'll tell you guys the story, or better yet, if you scroll back a few hubcasts he was on and he told the story himself. It's much better when you hear it live out of his mouth, because you just sit there in disbelief. I was like, you really did what? So yeah,
I got to hear it now.
Yeah. So I'll just leave that.
Watch it.
That'll be my plug to get at least a few more views on a hubcast. So we're here to talk a little bit about AI and the impact on digital investigations, digital forensics, because that's it's really a big term. It's a broad term, really, AI, which I've seen it referred to anything from like an if this then that type scenario to full on, hey, tell me what you're looking for, and then I'm going to infect the toaster and then stab your eye out when you're sleeping type of AI. I've seen those movies,
I like
man.
that one.
They creep me out.
I know.
So, and you guys have some experience with some AI, because you've kind of put some stuff in products, right? Is that accurate to say? All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to have to call
our latest version 14. That we've added some super easy to use technology at the click of a button, and typing in some search terms, you're able to pull up in real time specifically what you're looking for. So it's really been well received, and obviously expediting case backlogs and is something that we hear. So if the AI can help, which it does, then that's just another feather in our cap.
Awesome. Yeah, we're going to get into that a little bit more as we talk through this a bit. But I'm going to give a little bit history here. So Javis, since you're new, I'm going to make you go first, man. We already know CJ's and Mike's history. Now I don't want to know like your first tricycle or big wheel, or that maybe you had a green machine. You may be too young for the green machine age, but
I had it. I had the same one. I know exactly
awesome.
what you're talking about.
Thing you could pull on the handles and twist and
oh yeah, you whip it around. Yeah.
virtually die every time. Now we put kids in big padded suits and go out and play in the front yard. But anyway, how'd you get started in this industry?
Yes, it's kind of a weird, non-traditional, non-typical way. Really, it kind of stumbled upon it. It sounds weird. So obviously, everybody here, you guys know, I've been in the military I just cussed the about 18 and a half year mark. So I'm still in the reserves now on the side. But when I was active before, I was on in the special operations field. And I went to a course. So they're like, hey, part of our pipeline is we need you to go through these courses to be certified and a subject matter expert on scene for the special forces and other SOCOM guys we work with. So I go through what I didn't know was called the JEDIC at the time, the Joint Exploitation Training Center, and learned how to do all this stuff back in 2014, 2015-ish. And then from there forward, deployed a bunch of times with third group, did a lot of on-scene lab management type of stuff when it comes to phones and computers. So 2014, 2015 is really when I started to.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I left active duty and became an instructor at those same courses, which was it's kind of crazy to think about. At the time when I was going through those courses, I was not expecting to ever do it again, but here I am now. It's a lifelong career.
Right.
So yeah, I was instructing for 4 years, and then I met these guys at actually the Techno show like 3 or 4 years ago,
Nice.
and met Andy and everybody. Loved them, so jumped over, and here I am.
Awesome stuff, man. That is kind of a non-traditional way. It's like you got picked, right? That was, my story was I was the guy that could turn on the big gray or beige box at the time, right? In my department, it's like, hey, you could turn it on and you made it work. You're now the forensic guy. So yeah, that's generally how it works. I didn't say I was the brightest guy. I said I was the one that could push the button. I knew where it was. But Mike, I think you have a story that's right along those lines, don't you? How'd you get started in this industry?
Very similar to yours. Computer geek my whole life. I had the first Tandy PRS 80 from Radio Shack when I was a kid, all the way up through college, where I figured I'd be the world's best programmer. Got my degree in computer science. Did that for about a year and said, I hate this. I'm locked in an office. And the state police called me and said, hey, you want a job? I said, it's outside. They said, yeah. I said, I'm in. So I jumped on board. That's the dumb mistake I ever made. And then, like you said, from that point on, whenever a computer came up or a phone came up, they'd look at me because I was the computer guy, and I would go handle it. So I said, well, if I'm going to handle it, I might as well get paid for it, and got certified on all different types of products and certifications, and then started building up a lab and kind of ran the lab that way. So kind of your route of travel. Same thing, you're the guy that knows how to turn it on, so you're the guy now.
That's right. Doesn't work that way in all fields, what you just said. So we'll leave that alone and move on. Now, CJ, you got a little bit of a different approach, right? Because you handle making sure the business end of things get done there. So how did you get involved with the company you're with now?
Sure. So I got a pretty extensive background working for startups and in the technology field specifically. So I was actually recruited by our former managing director about 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I guess he had saw that I'd built teams and, again, worked for some startups and been in the technology space for a while. So while I didn't really have the forensic experience, I did have a lot of experience as far as kind of being an evangelist. And again, as I mentioned before, working in that kind of new business, evangelizing Detego, building a team from scratch. So they saw that. I like to think that I interview pretty well, had some good references. So it's been a great ride, and I'm coming up on 4 years. So that's basically it. The old saw some working history, saw the old resume, and it just was a good fit.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah. How many years have it's been several years ago since I've met you. At least 4 is what I want to say.
Just about 4. That is correct.
Yeah, I think so. And I met you at a techno security conference, I believe, the one when it was still down in Myrtle Beach. So
that's it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys what. Those of you who are watching right now and watching later on, CJ's the best sport. He's taken a lot of razzing over the years from us, and we just get other people involved and good sport about it. So there'll be none of that today, believe it or not. It'll be the first one ever with 0. Well, I can't guarantee 0 because Jansen is aware you're on the show today, so there's no guarantees that he's not going to pop in.
I'm always ready for Bigfoot when he comes up knocking.
That's right.
Kevin, I gotta say, I feel pretty privileged to work with Steve Martin and Lou Ferrigno. So it's pretty well to be a part of this team.
I've never seen the Steve Martin yet until just now. But now I can't unsee it. I absolutely never unsee it. Oh, hang on, Mike. Sorry in advance.
All good.
And I got to say, working with Chris Farley down there is our newest member.
Hey, I'll take that. R.I.P.
Down by the river. Oh man, that's so great! Yeah, a big time inside joke, but it says Megan's got some suggestion for us. All we're missing is Martin Short. I don't think Andy qualifies as that. So, yeah. So anyway, there we go. So with AI, let's get back to it. With AI, what do you guys see is the future? I'm gonna skip forward. Obviously, anything that you're working on, don't spill the beans because Andy scares me, your boss, right? So don't spill the beans. I don't want to come after me. But what do you guys see in the future? Not necessarily with your product in particular, but how can AI assist digital investigators as they go through? And the biggest thing I think is trust. I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to pass it to Javis since you're raising your point.
You I was just in my mind just thinking it's the process of really it's a trust because I mean, how many people have that weird feeling of AI and like, hey, I'm gonna let this run, but do I know what's going on? You have to trust the process and then see the outcome and the output that's coming from it. It's, like our built-in AI, and the main thing I would say that of benefit is I got off a call earlier with a customer and had over 20 different computers that he had to go through, and just one call and seeing how easily he can triage with the AI built in,
Mm-hmm.
just by a few words, search terms, typing it in, look exactly what you're looking for, and narrowing it down instead of taking a day or two to manually sift through everything. You can just simply just type in what you're looking for, and your results are going to populate. It's pretty incredible what it does. So the time efficiency, making the most use of your time, and reducing a lot of those backlogs that you may be piled up with. So that's how I see AI, at least for some of our stuff going forward,
Yeah, and
with trust.
yeah, and you guys jump in at any time with this, but I think trust is the big thing, right? And I don't see that any different than all of us have to use tools, right? It's obviously we're doing analysis on computer and data, right? I mean, we have to use tools in order to pull this data back. We trust our tools, right? I mean, and then we have a verification process that we go through as examiners. Um, I don't see this as any different than that. You guys see any difference there? It's just a different way of going about it.
No, I mean, Mike, you can jump in as well. CJ, you can, but it's just you trust the process of all the the different products and software you use. This is just a manipulation of our software that does makes your job easier, really. So no, I don't see any difference in it, really. I mean, it's a benefit, added benefit.
Right. And I think a lot of it has, of course, Hollywood always plays into everything, the way we think about things. And I see someone down in the comments with the name of Ava, and that's the name of that killer doll on the one AI show. That anyway, wasn't that the name of the that one robot that killed everybody who was AI? The girl.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't remember the name of the stinking show. Megan will be my secondary brain. Actually, she's my primary brain, and she'll pop in, I'm sure, with an answer at some point. But yeah, so I think it's a lot of it, right? Because I think it's been portrayed as something bad. You got, has AI ever been portrayed good in anything?
No,
Yeah.
no, I think it's something we never look forward
Yeah,
to. But
I mean, you got Terminator, right? You got Hal, even
When I
from
first heard about it, yeah.
yeah, from Hal. What was it? Hal 2000? Was that what his name was? Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then all the way to War Games to, I mean, all of them. Every movie that I could possibly think of is a bad thing when it's not. It's really a good thing, and especially for those of you who are familiar with there's Hal right there. I'm sorry, Dave. If you guys have everybody's probably used Chat GPT by now, or at least I think in this audience have. It's pretty freaking awesome. And if you're bored and lonely, you just have a conversation with it. I can't remember the one movie with Joaquin Phoenix and what was the other one? Who's the other one? Scarlett Johansson, when she played the operating system. And that they anyway, I got all kinds of references. I've been thinking about this all day with you guys coming on, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's just like so much nerd AI, and I don't want to totally take it over here. Charlotte Johansson. That was the name of the movie. Thank you, Megan. I can see going through in the chats down there. Where, tell me you guys did not see that.
I have no idea.
Oh my gosh. So right as soon as we're done, you go either to Redbox, or I don't know if it's on Netflix or not. And it's great. It's like the ultimate lonely computer guy's story, right? He buys an operating system that he falls in love with, and it's AI. It's so funny. Anyway, I don't want to hit close to home to anybody, so I apologize already in advance. I'm looking at you, Javis. Just saying.
Come on.
No, I'm kidding. But no, and I think that's a lot of the concern is because it's such a crazy hype. People don't focus on, because Hollywood would be boring if it's like, oh, hey, AI just helped me solve this case. That's pretty boring. But you know, some of the benefits that you had mentioned, Javis. How does that? Give me one, if you guys can. I guess it doesn't have to be just Javis. Do you guys have anything that you've known that maybe you were working a case personally, or someone is working a case, or the possibility of how they can really help that? I know it saves time, but can you guys give me an example of something that it will do?
I know Mike has a good example when it comes to interviewing witnesses.
Oh, yeah. What do you got?
Actually, I was going to go a different route, but
Oh,
we'll jump with my idea first.
okay.
Actually, one of the latest features we have in there, you say talk about saving time. Not only does it save time, but an organization we work with was actually using it to search for a certain item and going through 60, 70,000 pictures, being able to just plain text search what you're looking for instead of searching pictures or hashes or files names. Was
Yeah.
able to narrow those down to about 170 within seconds instead of the usual combing through page after page. And then from there, you can actually adjust sensitivity and narrow it down more, or actually look for similar images. So it just, time saving is a big thing, but just being able to cut through all that stuff you don't need to see and all the stuff you don't want to see, and just find the stuff you're looking for, kind of like a golden nugget quickly, just by having the AI search for what you're specifically looking for, as opposed to scrolling page after page, trying to manually look at pictures. I've done that before. I know you've done it before. And we all miss stuff that way just because you're scrolling and someone talks to you, you look around, or something, the phone rings, you look at your phone, whatever. So,
And you're still clicking down, down, down,
yeah,
down,
yeah.
looking around. Yep. No, that's an application I actually had not thought of, and that's pretty awesome. So, a couple random questions for me, just because I'm ignorant in this area, is like if I was searching, and I don't know, does it have the ability to search? Well, most video comes from a series of stills anyway. Can it search like video files as well, or is it limited to stills? Or where is
I'm
the
glad,
real?
I'm glad you asked that because it's almost like we scripted that, but we
I
didn't.
I'm not. I'm just dumb. So there's no
So
forward thinking ahead.
we do
Javis
have
laughs
another
because he knows it's true.
we do have another process that's built in before this, that's been with us for a while, that allows you to extract video frames from video files. So you run the process, you
Uh-huh.
specify a time frame or a percentage of the video, and it'll kick out JPEG images of those. Every 10 seconds, a JPEG. Now those images are now searchable with that visual search that we're just talking about, as well as OCR. So if there's words in there, you can actually find words in a video that were just captured as a JPEG.
No
So
kidding.
some
Yeah.
good stuff in there, and we've had that for a while. That's not anything new.
So is it able then? Again, this is me calling you guys on the spot here, and I'm hoping I don't go too far with this. Is it like, say I'm looking for a red car in a video, right? Like say I'm gas station surveillance or bank surveillance or whatever, a parking lot. Is it able to break those things up into JPEG, which we know it can, but then can it pop out red car pictures at us?
1,000%.
That's
You can even say, you can even say what make and model you're looking for, not just red car.
what?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
that's super nerdy.
It's,
I'm
it's almost
interested now, 100%.
every time I watch it, my jaw drops just because
Same.
that's exactly, this is stuff that's, I don't know if it's never been seen before. I've never seen any other tool do it. So,
Yeah,
it's
normally
really,
it takes a lot of setup to do something like that, but
yes, a lot of man hours, a lot
yeah,
of sift. It's our platform really increases the chances of not only identifying and investigating the crimes, but to get to the root cause quickly and efficiently, and it
heck
helps solve.
yes.
Yeah. So
I mean, just
You know,
so.
and the
Go ahead, Javis. Go ahead.
I was just going to mention, Kevin, we struggle with the thought of it, just the thought of AI and using it, the vulnerabilities of it, just like not really trusting it, but trusting the process.
Right.
I know for a fact that had this been a capability in 2017 and running a lab in a third world country, it would have absolutely decreased my time of sitting in that lab, going insane, and being out on more operations to support. I know for a fact there was one in particular where there were four devices and there were four computers right around there, but we were looking for pictures. It sounds weird, but USA banking cards, because what had happened, there was a worker. I'll try to generalize everything. There was a worker who was manipulating people that were on this small fob, and so I literally had to go through thousands and thousands of pictures, like the old school way. But if I was able to type in at that time pictures of banking cards or debit card or USAA, whatever that is, and have a response in just seconds, that would have saved me, I know for a fact, at least 3 days of work.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty intense. That's pretty intense. I'm sitting here thinking of all the different applications and things you can ask. Obviously, I'm video is a big thing. That's what always took the stinking longest, was to go through that. And a lot of times, what you're looking for is like a blip somewhere in the middle of it, and depending on your level of caffeine, you may dozed off watching this 6 hour
Mm-hmm.
video that may or may not happen. We used to bring in interns to do some of that. Now, gone are those days. Said, hey, intern, go watch for this, and
Yeah.
then you come in and do the real work, right? The real work. Now, shoot, all you do is you really just can plain text type it what you're looking for,
Whatever
and
you can,
Yep.
whatever you can think of. Your imagination's the limit.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and obviously the more contextual data it has to search against, the more better you're going to get a result. If you type in, a couple words, maybe kind of generalized, but if you string that out, you got more strings to search against at that point. So
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing.
That
Yeah,
You
the
can
is.
good
also you can also upload an image. So if you have an image you're looking for, or a piece
Uh-huh.
of an image, just a quarter or a half of an image, you can upload that and find similar as well. It's pretty accurate.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now, you guys, you have a webinar coming up pretty soon with us as well, right? And I'm sure you've done other webinars on this topic specifically.
Yeah,
Um,
that was a big kind of go to market strategy for us here in Q3 and into Q4 is our AI. And then we also have a new release coming up in the not too distant future where we're going to be incorporating, and I don't know, let the cat out of the bag a little bit, but we're going to be doing some facial recognition as well. So that's be on the lookout for that in 2024 on our I think that's our 16 release, if I'm not mistaken, coming up soon. But yeah, it's going to be AI centric. It's going to be kind of showcasing that on all of our webinars and kind of in our marketing and kind of how we're kind of reaching out to the community.
okay. Well, if you don't have one, I think Megan's messaging me saying we're working on something. There's not one actually set. So we'll get with Bud. Hey, Bud, we got to schedule something. There we go. And get you guys going, because I know the audience would love to see. I personally would just love to see the capabilities um, of something like that. That's pretty doggone amazing. Mike, you had another story that we tore off in a direction. Do you remember what the
Yeah.
other story was? Now I'm putting you on the spot, right? Live.
Yeah. Just no story in general. Many uses for the video and audio transcription feature that we have there, but just interviews with people, 5, 6 hours. You get those long
Uh,
homicide investigations. And then 2 days later, someone said, oh, yeah, well, a witness came and said there was a red truck there. And then you say, well, did he ever say he talked about a red truck? I don't know. Well, go watch the 6 hour video, intern. No, let's just do it this way. You index it, type in red truck, and keyword pops up and says, there it is. It's in the video at hour 1 minute and 43 seconds and 32 seconds. He said red truck. So just saves you hours and hours of reviewing video when you don't have to.
Heck yes, that's a lot. So you put the video into your tool, right? And then it's going to go and translate speech to text, and then you can obviously type in at that point and see if they said anything about that, and takes you to the spot where they said it. I'm assuming.
Every
Yep.
spot that you say it, yes.
So every
Yeah,
spot,
and
not
it
just.
also it also goes a step further too. Sorry to jump in. Stuff is amazing. I love how it works. But after it transcribes, right? So it's going to translate, transcribe, and then it's going to index that text. So not only does it index it, make it searchable,
Mm-hmm.
but on the index text tab in our Omni viewer, it literally has a script by the second of where it was said, when it was said, where it was said. and you can print that off as a PDF too if you needed to use that for whatever prosecution or whatever court orders, whatever you want to use it for. So you can not only just say, hey, they said it at this point because I scrolled or saw it on the video at 16 seconds into the video, but here's the PDF to prove that came from it with the whole transcription because it's all been indexed at that point.
That's pretty awesome. That's really amazing. Now, you guys have been working with this for a little while. You were aware of it long before anyone in the public. How long ago did you guys release this? When was this? When did this come out?
Less
I want
than
to say,
six.
yeah, I want to say 3 months ago, 3.5 months ago.
Okay. So from when you first heard about it, right, before you saw it, and rating, again, someone like me who's suspicious of everything, right, to where you're at now with this, what would you say to investigators that are hearing AI and going like, whatever, it's AI, it'll,
I
kill
think
us
the
all.
problem we get with AI is you have to think back to, we've been doing it a long time, so you can relate to this, that the fact that when you first got your first tool that did forensics, you kind of pushed the button and went, oh, look, there's the information. Where did it come from? Is it magic like AI? No, it's a tool. It's a process. You kind of benchmark it. You go back and you say, yep, this is where the evidence was. The same thing holds for AI. If the AI that you type in text finds a photo, you still know exactly where that photo came from. You have the links, you have the path. You just go back and verify it. So you just do your benchmarks, you verify it, and then you're able to testify about it in court or prove it to somebody else.
Yep. And I think that's a really great point. Verification, and everyone's used to that, doing that in this industry, right? If they're not, they're living on borrowed time at this point. So verification is really important, and it's no different, right? Whether AI is finding it or the old scripts of old that we used to use were finding it. You still went back and you verified the information was accurate, and that it's not putting evidence there. It's just locating the evidence and making it a lot easier for you guys, for us to find it.
It can really solve a crime very promptly, and it saves investigators a lot of expenses as well, because it enables them to kind of focus more on where the cybercrime is likely to occur. And they can detect suspicious criminal activities by sifting through the data as well. So it's also saving some expenses.
Yeah. Now, Javis, you said you did a lot of obviously deploy work and stuff like that, right? I've never pictured you as a cat guy. I just never pictured. I just saw your cat creep in behind you. I
was like, how did he know?
That's not how I envisioned you.
Javis, what are you up to? 13 cats now?
I'm a cat guy.
Mike got it right away. Javis is like, how did he know? Your cat was literally creeping.
The AI.
Yeah, it's the AI told me.
No, I'm allergic to most breeds of dogs, so there's that.
Yeah, that'll do it too.
Yeah.
The big pound home too, Kevin, is what you said earlier. Hollywood's made AI like this big scary giant that it's only going to be evil. Right. And then you get people that test out Chat GPT and they say, well, I just ask it to write a resume for me and it's there. It creates it. Like it's not something that's tangible until it makes it. So AI made it up. So when they hear AI, they're like, well, the software is going to make up some evidence and put it on the device. It's the exact opposite. It's using artificial intelligence and mathematics to help you find stuff and discover stuff faster. Is the way AI is used in forensics. So it's a different world. Everyone hears AI, they freak out because the Terminator is going to come kill them and they're going to take over your house. But that's not with us. No, that's not the way it works.
Not today, anyway. You're safe.
No, that's a good point. And Kevin, you brought up a good one. Your verification, and Mike did too. So you can think of it on how you use it in our tool, like the Cliff Notes, right? We want to get straight to the point of exactly where we found it. Well, here's a quick way to do it. And then use your verification process. You know where it's at, where it's held at in that extraction. Now use your verification process to prove that it's there. And also, use the screen record to show exactly how you found it and your verification to, prove it's there.
Yeah, no, exactly. Mike, this is going to happen. I know you just saw this on the screen.
Oh, boy.
There you go. There you have it. Yeah, thank you, Ava.
The Three Amigos. He was in Three Amigos. He was in The Jerk.
That can be scary and that can be good. Depends which actor. If I
See,
was in Monsters Inc., it's not a good thing. If I was in another movie,
see, all I got to do is put it on the screen and let the other two go. That's it. That's all it takes.
wind them up.
That's right. Wind them right up. I'm sure they will think about it and say, I have the movie. Here is the movie, and then hang on for that ride. It's pretty awesome. So you guys were at you guys go to a lot of different trade shows. I mean, I couldn't even begin. I just saw you. Obviously, what was it last week? Last week. It was last week in Techno Security Pasadena. And you guys were just got back at HTCIA, right?
Yeah, back to back
AG2.
West Coast. That's it. It was Techno's always good to see a lot of friendly faces, Jen and everybody, and it was pretty well received. And then HTCIA was this past week in Phoenix, and Javis and I headed out there. And then on the docket, we've got the Northwest ICAC show coming up. What's October 2nd through 5th or 6th, I believe. So it's our busy season throughout October. Slows down a little bit in November, December, and then we pick it back up in 2024.
I am trying to find something here because I already had it all set up, and now I don't.
If anybody's going out to the ICAC show, booth number 37, Javis and I will be there, and we actually have a presentation on Thursday the 5th at 12:15. So register for a seat.
It's a great opportunity to definitely a great opportunity to see this AI, in real time.
That's pretty awesome.
Kevin, what are you doing? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for something because I can account for CJ opted out of this. I'm going to put this back into live mode here. CJ opted out because, last week we were in Techno and I showed this real briefly when I talked to Jen, but
I know what it is.
Last week it was fun, right? And little did we know what was going on right next door to the event. Right now, I don't have anything embarrassing, Mike. I didn't film you clapping your hands above your head or anything, but there was in Javis, he got like stuck away from us a little bit, which was sad because that would have been funny to see him clapping above his head too. We were at the live show for America's Got Talent, right? It was being like right next door. It was pretty awesome, and I found the clip here. Oh, now I lost it. No, here it is. So I'm gonna play this, and this is how close. Now this isn't my video, but this is really close. How close we were to this crazy thing. I'm going to fade this over here real quick and then come back. Maybe. There we go. That's how close. Is that not true? We were literally walking right by with that cruise that came down.
I did get in trouble for that video, just so you know.
Oh, sorry about that. But there you go. Live right out there.
Not from today. From when I sent it home, I got in trouble for that video.
That's all right.
My wife, my niece, my mother-in-law, who's 95, were all jealous that I was at the show.
Yeah, it was kind of.
It's pretty crazy that these events. This is my first time that everybody probably doesn't know. Maybe they know now. Being on this side as a vendor, working with a company like Detego Global, so to all these different places we go, it's pretty incredible the different opportunities we have to. Go to these different events. I think we try to catch a ball game at most places we go. That event was going on, so it's definitely a cool process that I've never experienced till I'm here now.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I've been traveling more years than I care to admit, and it's just fun. Some of the stuff that you see. Your family does get mad at you when you get the cool thing. Luckily, my wife was with me for this one, so there was no. I didn't have to. Deal with anything when I got home. She was right there. It was actually her idea to drag us off. I think she came over to your guys' booth to drag you guys along, wasn't it?
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yeah, she was twisting arms to get you guys to go. So it was fun. It was interesting to see how they did it behind the scenes. It was funny to see all that excitement go on, and as soon as the cameras go off, everybody's like, yeah. None of the stars talk to one another. Their makeup crew runs out and they're constantly doing their hair and makeup in between. It was interesting insight to see for sure.
Just like this podcast.
That's right. When we broke away to that, everybody was doing their hair real quick, and that's why CJ's just got his hat on, so he doesn't have to even mess with that at all.
You know, Javis
You
and
know,
Mike were wearing their hats all morning, and we did a couple demos, and went and had a sandwich and got some fresh air. Came back, and they all got all dolled up, and I kept the hat on, and I got basically they didn't tell me.
Yeah, they all put their work
this is
shirts
all that.
on, looking nice, and there's CJ in his hoodie and hat, man. Jeez.
You know, it's Friday afternoon. It's been a long couple weeks, and I wanted to be comfortable today. And we're on a podcast. So I wore a suit for 15 years, and I'm not interested. So this
Mm-mm.
is what you're going to get.
Nope, I'm 100% with you. Most podcasts, I don't even wear pants, so you know we're all good that way. So see, now it's in your head, and you can't get it out of there.
Kevin, I want you to bring back your flock of seagulls haircut that you had in high school. I want you to grow it back out again, please. If you could do so, be so kind.
Heck to the yes. I am all about it. I'm thinking about doing like a 70s edition, like disco version of the Hubcast at some point. You know, we all got to get the big Afro style hair put on. There's a cover band here, and they're called Disco Inferno. Oh my gosh, my wife hates me when I drag her to one of these. Got the big old bell bottoms on. Oh, it's so much fun though. Yeah, I get made fun of a lot, but Mike, act like you don't like it, man. You know very well you'd be there doing the old Bee Gees move, you know.
Oh yeah, that would be him.
Travolta.
See my moves.
Hey, I've seen you clap above your head at America's Got Talent, so you know, I don't question anything anymore.
Above your head.
It did. So that, I keep saying this, but I didn't give any context. So they have this guy that comes out, right? And he's the hype man. Isn't that what you called him, Mike? That you called him? He's the hype man. He gets the audience going, excited, and stuff like that. And he tells you that, hey, you have to clap above your head if you want to be on TV. You talk about the most unnatural thing in the world. Some of us like can't clap above our heads, right? We don't let CJ. He couldn't. He'd be like,
yeah, it's tough.
This. He wouldn't be able to do this. Those of us who are a little flimsy, we can.
Stand by for thunderous applause.
Is that the sign that it said? Is that what it said? Stand by for thunderous.
That's what they said all the time.
Yeah, he was. Was that his name, Chuck? Was his name Chuck?
Yeah.
I think it was.
All right. Who's JT and who you creeping in here, JT? Was JT there?
Were you there?
Or maybe JT was at another showing. That was pretty cool.
JT is Chuck.
That could be Chuck. Spying in on us. That's right.
30 seconds before the act, you had to stand up. 10 seconds, you had to start clapping above your head.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's the way it was. And cheering and screaming. And yep, absolutely. It was fun. I did see us several times. Oh, yeah, he was there. John from Kingston. There you go. Great. Awesome.
Look at that.
Got to it. So that's pretty cool. What was I just going to say now? I missed it. Oh yeah. So all the hype that went on, it was just insane. But I did see us. I went back and watched the episode. Did you watch the episode, Mike?
No.
Oh man, you can see it because you're supposed to. The rules say you're supposed to wear dark colored clothes. Blah blah blah. There's Mike.
Not Mike.
Bright teal shirt, man. I tell you what, I'm so grateful for that shirt because all I had to do was go, oh, there's Mike. 1, 2, there I am, right there. Yep, absolutely every time.
Everybody was clapping over the head except for one angry guy near me. Didn't seem like he was too happy about clapping over his heads.
Yeah, he was more down here just every so often. Andy, we're talking about you. So, yeah, we kept trying to get him riled up. If you guys have not met Andy, I highly recommend going to a show that he's at. He's awesome, but he's not a clapper above your head type guy. He's just he's just not. It's just the way it is.
He's
a real lovable person.
Figured out. He was only clapping for Simon. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's weird. I think it's the Brit thing sticking together. I don't know what it is. He did notice he was wearing a bodysuit, tight squeezing bodysuit, you know. So don't know how he noticed that, but hey.
Didn't you guys say that he was between takes, he would get up and go like have a smoke or go have a drink and then come back? Is that what I heard? Simon?
He'd leave a lot.
You leave.
Yeah, I mean, he left all the time. I mean,
yeah.
We're going to be taken off the air from saying this, but I'm pretty sure he was back there, you know, ripping some shots or something. He had to do something to stay excited.
Out at his Rolls Royce that he had parked outside the show. You guys see that car? Literally, you walked out of. You guys had the booth right next to the door at the show. You walk right outside of the showroom. Boom, Simon's Cal's car is right there. Right. I mean, that Rolls Royce was boom right there for the most part. Right.
Yep.
was awesome. It
Oh
was
yeah, it was right there.
literally that close. Literally that close. So yeah, what's the website, guys? Anyone know off the top of their heads?
For Detego,
Yeah,
www.detegoglobal.com.
I'm going to pop this up on the screen here. It's spelling it is half of the battle. That's really half of the battle there, Kevin.
Detego.
Yeah, yeah. Let me
If you
make
go
sure this is
to
going to fit. There
Or
we go.
DetegoGlobal.com. And I will
So
say too, as you're popping that up,
what I'm going to do
reading
is
it,
bring us over here.
looking back at Ava's comments too. Um, yeah, be on the lookout for our latest releases because our dev team is pretty remarkable in the things that they're doing. And I know for a fact, sat in on some of the way forward meetings, and there's a lot of great features that are coming up in the near future for sure.
Hey, Kevin, go to solutions and then scroll over to keep going to the right. Keep going. Keep scrolling to the right. No, like on with your mouse.
To this
Keep going.
right?
Keep going all the way to the third column and down to analyze AI plus,
Oh, there we go.
and that gives a kind of a snapshot as far as
Oh, excellent. Okay, I'm going to copy this out and I'm going to put this
Yeah.
into chat as well. That way, everybody has it and they can click on it and check it out themselves. There we go.
Yeah. Contact us to learn more anytime.
Yeah.
We're the big part of what we do is the web demos, the free trials, the setting up of the kicking of the tires, and
Oh, that's right. You guys do
yeah.
offer a
So
trial.
yeah, we do. So
So if you
we'll
guys want to,
happily spend some time, show some of the analytics that we have, show the AI, shows all the other bells and whistles, and then let you run with it in a forensic lab. If you're doing field stuff, we kind of tick all the boxes here. That's kind of what our claim to fame is. That Swiss Army knife tool.
Yeah, I've seen Ava. You mentioned link analysis too, so we do have a feature with our Fusion for that as well. That's yeah, definitely create that link analysis chart for you.
oh, that's awesome. Oh, yeah, they listed all kinds of stuff in here. Sorry, I'm just seeing chat. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. If you guys have a question for either CJ, Mike, Javis, whoever you have the question for, just type a Q and then a colon and then whatever the question is. I usually do a search every so often. I can filter down for just those, and that way we'll make sure your question gets asked. I mean, I can see the chat pretty large here on my screen, but sometimes they do sneak by us. So if you have something for these guys with AI as it pertains to digital investigations, or even just get their thoughts on something, they're not only good-looking guys, but they're pretty smart too. So you can ask them, and they'll be happy to answer those questions for you guys as well. So
Yeah.
you said, where are you guys going to be next week now?
Next,
We're going to be
next week we'll be home hopefully, unless you know something that we don't. But in 2
I do
weeks we're going to be headed out to Seattle for the Northwest
Oh, that's
ICAC
right.
show. That's a big part of what we do. We are partnered with Project Vic, and we do have some applications that are amazing when it comes to kind of on scene, time critical triage, imaging, analysis with the click of a few buttons. So we're certainly excited for that one, as we are every year. So the ICAC stuff is our tools really fit in really well with that specific issue.
Yeah, because AI is just really, and obviously you've been on the casts before. AI is just really a small portion of the capabilities of
yeah.
what you guys can do, and someone can see that. I mean, they can jump over to your website and wait. They probably got a quick view of it. I was just showing it all of the stuff that happens um, through your software. It's a lot of stuff, right? And that kind
Yeah,
of makes you guys really, really unique within the space, right?
yeah, I think
Can you
so. I
tell me a
think
little bit about that?
well, if you're working for a unit that's strictly in the lab, right, where you just have tons of computers coming in, loose media, phones, then we've got all the tools in the world, all the automation where you can set it up to really have the TIGA do the heavy lift. And then if you're doing mostly kind of on scene, time critical, then we've got applications. So it doesn't matter if it's going to be in field forensics, lab forensics. We've got applications that really tick all the boxes. So if you're looking for an all-in-one suite, look no further. But if you're just looking for a good lab tool or just something that you can use in the field, then we can definitely help with all of the above. We're constantly, we mentioned before, the latest version, so we're always getting better. And we actually listen to our customers, and a lot of the new features that we add actually come from guys like Javis and Mike and Kevin. What you used to do, well, we listen to our customers, and being that we're smaller than some of the other of our competitors that shall remain nameless, we have that flexibility that we can kind of really fast track specific new features that are important to things like AI, things like facial recognition that's coming up that we're always constantly adding and evolving.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, you guys, I tell you what, every time that I've encountered anybody from your company, you guys have been super knowledgeable, very willing to help in investigations. So if again, I don't want to get into a commercial or anything, but if you guys are struggling, those of you guys watching with your investigation, and maybe you just want to give the tool a shot to see if maybe it can maybe it can help you, maybe it can't. Hey, I don't know, but give these guys a shot, see if they can. I bet you they can. It's pretty amazing because you guys were also really fast with extractions as well, right? Getting the data and pulling the stuff out.
Yeah, we're best known for having the world's fastest imager of the ballistic imager. Yeah, the record, I think, imaged a terabyte in 7 minutes and 45 seconds or something like that. So easy to use, fits in your pocket, get your image, and then kick it over into our analysis tool, and you're off and running. What used to take hours now takes minutes with Detego.
Yeah, and I know as in I can only speak from the law enforcement side of acquiring something on the scene. I didn't want to be in those crack houses, drug houses for as long as I could. But it's even worse for like Javis. You never knew what was going to be incoming to you guys. It's like get the hell out of there as quick as
Yeah,
you can.
a great part of the career that I had before as an instructor was teaching. I was taught all the tools under most of the tools under in our realm that we work, right? Detego being one of them. But the very rewarding part of my job was just instructing alone, was teaching this to SOCOM students who would then go forward a week or two after to deploy to these austere environments and work in these labs and hear the feedback from them as far as what the analyze can do and the ballistic as far as imaging, because most people have been in a lab where it's not a quick process to acquire that image and
Right.
then have them do the triaging. Well, with just one tool, they're able to do that and get their workload off their shoulders.
Nope. Exactly. Spot on. Spot on. Well, guys, can you believe it has been almost an hour already? It went by quick, did it not? Yeah, you guys, when
It
you get
did.
talking and super nerdy into stuff, it goes by really fast. I want to thank you guys all for coming on to the Hubcast, and hope to have you guys on again here real soon in the future. But I wanted to open the floor to each one of you guys, see if there's anything else that you wanted to hit, something we may have missed. CJ, anything that you wanted to mention?
Yeah, I think it's good just to kind of get together with friends like you, Kevin, and get and kind of just speak to the people. And it's always a pleasure. So thank you for the opportunity, and we look forward to the next one.
Oh, absolutely, always, always, and we'll get that set up. I really want to see this AI in action, so we'll definitely get something set up for that for sure. Javis, what about you, my friend? Anything else?
Some friendly parting words and hopefully this doesn't come off bad, but I welcome the doubters. We get a lot of I get a lot of people who are like, nah, I'm just not gonna willing to change. You don't have to change what you're using. Just give it a shot. I welcome those doubters because I guarantee we're gonna find an answer for you.
No, for sure, and I can say it because been there, done that. Cops are the most negative people in the world because that's the scenarios we work in, right? Was we don't work for
Yeah.
the there's no saving puppies out of trees like the hose draggers always get to do, right? We're always dealing with the world's worst part of society, so we kind of approach it with a negative attitude. So yeah, give it a try, open up a little bit, and check it out. It's well said, well said, Mike.
Yeah, no, same. Coming from that field of work and then switching sides with my own company and working for defense attorneys, it's great to be back on this side and helping the people out that need the tools. So, like you said, give it a try. I'm not going to tell you whether it can or can't, but if you give me a particular instance, I'm going to tell you, yeah, I think this will help you, or it might not help you, but it's another tool. The more tools, the better. So at least try it out. It'll be worth your time. It doesn't hurt that much to try it. We're pretty easygoing. And I can't thank you enough for having us on again. It's always been a pleasure to be on your cast. You make it very easy going and very easy to get through. So thanks for that.
Oh, always. It's you guys make it really easy. I mean, I know each of you in person. I've met you guys several times, and we've been, out partaking of, clapping above our heads together. So, and all that other fun stuff that happens at the shows. But I appreciate it, guys. I'm looking. Ava says thank you. I think I caught all the questions. So if you guys have anything you guys need to ask Mike, Javis, or CJ, you can jump over to the website. You can pop them down here in the show notes or afterwards. I'll make sure they get them. Try to do it on the YouTube side, but again, because we're live on Facebook, Twitter/X, LinkedIn, and of course YouTube. I will check all of those areas constantly, and we'll get you guys any of the questions that somebody might have and pass them your way. Again, guys, thanks so much. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back with you guys. But for everyone else, if you haven't joined Cyber Social Hub, make sure you do so. Cybersocialhub.com. It is the magic word free, right? Those of you who have the tight budget, it's absolutely free. You get all these great resources, get direct contact with these awesome guys like this. Make sure you go and check it out. And one more thing, if my kids would to critique any of my fact that I'm a YouTuber and they're not, that's what they call me, which makes me laugh every time. It's like, no, I'm old school. We called it just broadcast at that time. And
you're an influencer, buddy.
Yeah, I think you guys knew I was a radio DJ for like 7 years. You guys know that? Yeah, I was on the air out in Atlantic City, and then in Ohio. Yeah, I broadcast to the cows. It was cool. Things happening. Wasn't Nebraska, Javis, but it was still Ohio. It was one of those things.
Ooh, I don't like your tone.
Yeah, there you go. But hey, one of the things that helps the show out is if you guys hit that like button. That's that thumbs up. Now it's different on all the different platforms that we're on. It really helps the algorithm, helps this thing get shown out there to other people that may see it or want to see it. Also, if you can subscribe to the channel, YouTube's the best way to do that. And you can hit that little bell also there to get notified when we do go live, because sometimes it's just random and we just go live for the heck of it. Other than that, guys, thanks again so much. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back with you, and we'll be back next week, hopefully, with another Hubcast. Thanks again, guys, for hanging out with us. Much appreciated. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. All right. See you.
Thank you, guys.